Nighttime changes everything. It's really important to remember when you're working on an incident that takes place in darkness that a lot of things are going to come into play. First and foremost, horses' eyes do not adjust to changes in light quickly. It's very important to keep in mind that when those headlights, searchlights, flashlights come on, that horse is going to be blind for several minutes. And it's going to be keenly aware of other things taking place around it. Those ears and every other sense are going to be on high alert. It's going to be ready to run or jump at a moment's notice. So you, the handler, need to make sure that you are as aware as that horse of what's going on around it, and to make sure that at all times that horse knows where you are. So be the calm leader, establish and maintain contact as you can, but all the while, make sure that you are in a safe place and that that animal or those animals know where you are. We've set up a little scenario here to show you just how fast things can change and how different things are in nighttime or really poor visibility settings. So we're working tonight with horses that are really familiar with the handlers and with me. But even so, even with that level of familiarity and trust, you're going to see how scary it can be, how fast things can change, and also to be aware of things going on in the scene that might not appear to be scary or even a hazard to you, but to that horse, a prey animal whose vision is compromised by the lighting conditions, who is in an unfamiliar setting with people he has never met before, just how scary that can be. And one of the hazards that you're going to encounter in these loose livestock or disaster evacuation situations are bystanders. Bystanders who are emotional, they're amped up, they may not be responding to whoever is in command. And you're going to need to take control of that situation and understand how quickly that person, those bystanders, can change things up. So take a look and watch what happens. Let's try something else here. Let's watch the ears. Now this guy is really keeping an eye on me. He knows me, but the situation is really different. You hear that big breath? Okay, he just took in a big breath and he exhaled. So he took it in, he decided it was okay, and then he exhaled. So it's first yoga, basically. And now I'm going to mess this up. He's feeling good about me, but I'm going to do something to scare him. Are you ready? Hey, look out! Look out over there! There's somebody over there! Hey, this horse, I saw this horse running down the road. Oh boy. What about this one? Shiloh, you okay? Someone could come running behind you. See what this horse did? Now, you don't ever want to do what I did. You don't want to be that person running up behind a horse. But somebody else or some vehicle or maybe even a loose animal could come up behind that horse. You see what the handler did? She just got that horse out of the way, kept her calm, and kept her moving. So those are all really good examples of how horses are going to react to stimuli, to new situations, to things that we might not think are scary but are very threatening to them, and how you keep yourself safe and establish that bond with the horse. The ultimate goal here is you're getting the horse out of harm's way, you're clearing your scene so that you can do the work that you need to do, and you're getting them to a safe place where you're going to hand them off to a handler. We have a couple of horses here that are basically coming from a dark place into a place with really, really bright lights shining in their faces. That means that they can't really see what's going on behind them. They can't see too much what's going on around them. And anything, right now they feel good. Their handlers are making them feel safe. Everybody is a reasonably safe distance away from their horse, but still connected to their horse. I'm gonna walk over and just give this girl a little reassuring scratch here. But we're going to make some things happen that are going to change the scenario. We're going to try to get a reaction out of these horses so that you can see how fast the scene can change, but what you as a handler can do to make sure that A, you are staying safe, and B, you can maintain control of that animal by establishing and maintaining that bond, maintaining a safe distance, being aware of all of the horse's danger zones, meaning you're not going to be in a place where they could hit you with their head, step on you with their feet, turn around and kick you, or get ahead of you and run ahead of you. Now this horse is getting a little bit anxious, so what Jim's going to do is he's just going to take her and give her a little walk around so that she can see what's going on. Sometimes if horses are standing in one place, that's going to make them feel anxious because, again, they're prey animals and something could be coming to get them. And just walking around is reestablishing that bond. And sometimes it's just a distraction. Sometimes they're just fidgety and they need to move. So she's looking around. She's kind of pulling on him a little bit. He is not choked up on her so that when she wants to turn around and look at something, she can. If he were to hold her too tightly, and she could not turn her head and look behind her or off to the side, she would begin to feel really threatened. So that's really important. When that horse is tugging and wants to look around, that's a good thing. That's their situational awareness. Another thing to keep in mind in these circumstances is that horses have a huge field of vision, but they have a blind spot about 6 degrees directly in front of them, and a cone of 6 degrees directly behind them. So combined with this really complex, scary, bright light situation, that means that the handler needs to be aware at all times of his relationship or her relationship to the horse, what the horse might be seeing or not seeing, and making sure that you, the handler, are always in a safe place so that if anything happens and that horse makes a sudden move, you're not going to get knocked over, you're not going to get jumped on, you're not going to get run over, and you're not going to get kicked. This is a pretty quiet scene. There's a lot of traffic in the background. We don't have any sirens, radios, horns, but you can see, it's a little bit dark, but you can see how these horses' attitudes has really changed from the situation when it was still daylight, when they had lights, and they were basically just hanging out. But now they are looking around. They're keeping an eye off to the side. They're looking for each other. So again, prey animals, their number one concern is something going to come and get them. And as long as you are there and you're their leader, they're going to look to you as the security zone. But you need to make sure that you're safe at all times. Let's try taking Belle first this time. She seemed a little anxious when Sunny left her, so let's see if we can take her away. We never want to take one horse away from the other and leave one behind. So Jim, you ready to fall in?
Yeah.
Sometimes things might be happening a little too quickly, and so you might want to stop, give your horse a pat, maybe back it up a little bit. Just make sure that you still have total control and the horse is right where you want him to be. It's also nice when things are calm to do a little bit of this type of bonding exercise so that if things get a little bit crazy, you have established a level of trust with that horse. Okay, so this is a good exercise with Belle and Sunny and Jim and Shiloh, showing you ways to handle your horses in a nighttime situation, what to be aware of, how to create a bond, how to stay safe, and how to help these horses stay secure.